Alright, it took 4 months, but it's finally over. I can finally take a break and... well, I mean, a soul's a soul. Frost's a fantastic defensive frame, fortifying himself and allies with Overguard using Icy Avalanche on top of his already beefy defensive capabilities, and locking down enemies with Ice Procs and creating defensive positions with Snow Globe, but then turning these defenses into further advantages, with Biting Frost granting increased crit chance and damage on frozen targets, stripping armor with Avalanche, and activating Arcane Truculence to prime Viral when you pass certain thresholds of Overguard. Because of this, you can use a pretty basic setup of some duration, high range, and a bit of strength to get full armor strip, and Arcane Ice Storm is an obvious choice, since it can give up to 40% strength and duration on frozen enemies, which is kind of his whole thing. And then you have options for Helminth. Thermal Sunder is the obvious choice, since he gives you increased cold proccing capabilities, while also giving you the ability to summon California. But if you want really beefy Overguard numbers, you want to be maximising your armour, using mods, his passive, or by Helminthing on Parasitic Armour, which I first saw in a video by Guap frame. And just like that, you have a nice all-round tanky frame with easy access to crits. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good one. Got you, didn't I? Everything I just said? Bullshit. Well, no, it's all true and perfectly viable, but I'm sure you figured all that out yourselves. You guys are smart, and also strangely into the Karak for some reason. But personally, I'm not a huge fan of this setup. Insane amounts of Overguard are nice. We all play this game to see big numbers after all, but ultimately, it's imaginary defense. Look at what one level 225 T92 does to him. He can't keep up. Avalanche is too slow and too inefficient to scale into endgame like Dante, so let's find an alternative. Without his Overguard, we miss out on Arcane Truculence, but in this post-Companion 2.0 world, you have no reason not to have a semi-effective status priming Companion, and without the need to buff out Icy Avalanche, the only thing in his kit that really needs power strength is his armor strip, which has a magic number of 167%. So instead, we can invest into range with Overextended, since strength doesn't affect the rate of Ice Procs, and use a mix of Ice Wave Impedance, Freeze, and Avalanche to lock down any enemy that tries to get close to you. But what about the few enemies that sneak through? Well, we still need to make up that power strength difference for the armor strip. Using Precision Intensify leaves a remainder of 37%, so you can use Arcane Ice Storm, which is much easier to maintain with Ice Wave Impedance. But we can kill two birds with one stone by removing Snow Globe, since I exclusively use it to throw people into walls, and Helminth on Evade, since headshots are nice and easy on frozen enemies. This also means we can use Arcane Crepuscular for 30% power strength, and a red Archon Shard to make up the last 7%. This way, when invisible, we also get 3 times crit damage bonus, on top of 1 times from frozen enemies, and 200% from Biting Frost. And then using Worthy Camaraderie to give you a 275% critical chance on headshot before you even consider your weapon.
Put that away, Cody.
But the final thing we need is enough energy to take advantage of our abilities. First things first, Death Cube. What were you expecting? But that doesn't do anything about his limited energy pool. I like to go with Efficiency and Arcane Battery. With Streamline, this gives you enough for 2 casts of Avalanche at base, but with his passive, it can easily climb into the thousands, especially if you're using Vazarin to increase your affinity range. I find using the Hex good with this setup, as it gets you in close and Primary Crux and Blast turn this thing into a monster. Alternatively, you can put Flow on and double down on headshots with a Sharpshooter Sniper Rifle and Primary Acuity. Anyway, this was fun. What was the next question? Degath. Yeah, sorry, I can't help you there. I don't use non-prime frames. But if you don't have any more questions, then I hope you have a good one.